Good evening, everyone. I am a former volleyball player, and I absolutely love the game. When I was given this assignment, I figured it would be easiest for me to do a demonstration speech over a process in volleyball. More specifically, I will explain to you the mechanics of spiking the ball. There are 3 basic steps to this process. The first step involves squatting to a low position. The second step involves jumping and extending your arm. The third and final step involves the follow-through of your arm and the contact of your hand and the volleyball. I will explain to you these 3 basic steps one by one, and then I will use Kharchkari as an example on how a perfect spike should be done. So, the first step involves squatting to a low position. Once you make sure that you are the player that is going to be attempting the spike, you will line your body up perfectly with the ball. Then, you will position your feet shoulder length apart, maybe a little more, maybe a little less, depending on what is most comfortable for you so that you can maintain your balance. Then, you will squat to that low position and get ready for your next step. The second step involves jumping and extending your arm. First, you will get up out of your squat position with your feet still positioned the same. Then, you will jump upward with your chest out and your back in so that you can achieve a higher position. While doing that, you will extend your arm with a slight bend in your elbow so that the next step does not feel awkward. Then, the last and final step of spiking a volleyball is the follow-through of your arm and the contact of your hand and the volleyball. While your arm is up, you are going to align your hand and the ball up perfectly so that you may have a successful hit. Your hand needs to be curved inward along with your fingers forming a cup-like figure so that you can maintain control of the ball. If not, and if your hand seems to be flat, the ball will end up going wherever it wants to on the court. Then you ultimately strike the ball with the amount of force you think it takes to send the ball wherever you want it to go on the court. Next is your follow-through. As you hit the ball, flick your wrist inward and move your stomach inward as well so that most of the force can be exerted into the volleyball for a better hit. Last, you bring your arm downward beside your side with your arm and wrist still flicked backward to show your perfect form. An example of a perfect spike is done by Kharchkari. He is one of the greatest players that has ever played the game of volleyball. He holds the record for the most gold medals in both indoor and beach volleyball in the Olympics. He achieved his goals not only because he was a great player, but because of his great form. As you can see in this picture, Kharch is high up in the air as he should be. His stomach is curved inward because he has just hit the ball. His wrist is still flicked downward, and his whole arm is lined up perfectly with the ball. It is also obvious that Kharch has great strength, so this spike most likely scored a lot of points for this game. So, to sum it all up, there are 3 basic steps to spiking a volleyball. The first step involves squatting to a low position while still maintaining your balance. The second step involves jumping and extending your arm with a slight bend in your elbow. And the third and final step involves the follow-through of your arm and the contact of your hand and the volleyball. So, once you have done all of this, all 3 steps, you will most likely be able to achieve a good spike. And maybe, with lots of practice, one day, you will be able to spike a volleyball just as good as Kharchkari.